the page.
Okay. So when we get done, I normally share just because I'm on my phone right now. So how do I do it from my phone while we're speaking?
So just go ahead and hit the Facebook page. Just hit your Facebook page, and then you go to when you see us on here. Let's see. I want to make sure that you're on the Lillian McDermott radio show, and then you're going to see our image because we are live. It says we are live. And right here, you see, and you click on that right there. Do you see it? And then there is a share. There's a share.
Okay.
I don't know if you can share that anymore. Okay. Well, Robert.
Listen, I'm gonna right when we're done, I'm sharing it.
Okay. For those of you who are in the that you want to share, just go ahead and share the post because we're going to be talking about how to triumph in difficult times, not just thrive or survive. So let me get the record button hit for all of those people. So we are going to hit the record because we want to get started right away. This is an important conversation because it's not that we're going to talk about problems, but we're going to also talk about solutions because we are the solution to everything and all the problems that we might look at in our lives. If we shift to love, if we shift to something beautiful that we can create from the misery, the mess can become our message, the poison becomes our passion. There's so many different things that we can do to triumph in difficult times. So fasten your seatbelts because we're going to learn and grow together with Kelli Bono of Keep Me Safe Organics. Here we go. It's time to dance, Kelli.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
We love, we fear, bridges we burn, we make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough, and it seems like your best ain't good enough. If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be. I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyouneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening and viewing friends. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go to when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide alternative ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope that you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, as you know, I don't know how long it's been, possibly a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I've lost count because Keep Me Safe Organics has changed my life. It's been the product that I've been looking for a long time. And the reason why is that I needed to find, once I started learning a new truth about organics and toxicity and all the things that we just lock up. We lock up all the toxics, cleaners and all of that underneath our sink so that we could protect our children, but then we take it out of our drawers and lather it up on our children, on our bodies, and we don't even know the harm we are causing until many, many, many years later. And then you don't know the root cause. So when I discovered Keep Me Safe Organics, it had to be a product that was exceptional, that did not rub off on people, that was affordable, and that it had integrity. So Keep Me Safe Organic is not only changing beauty products, but is also changing our lives. And if you look around at the devastation that we're facing right now, the fighting with one another, we have 99% things in common, but we're going to focus on that 1% and we're going to defriend each other, or we're going to talk bad about you. We're going to make you feel bad about yourself because I want to feel good about me. And that is changing, even in the beauty product industry with Keep Me Safe Organics. And today we're going to be missing Miss Rebecca Black because she is on vacay, but we have Kelli Bono. She's one of the co-founders of Keep Me Safe Organics. And I am so excited because we're going to talk about triumph, being triumphant in difficult times, not just inching by, but triumphant. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I am grateful that Kelli Bono is here to do just that. Welcome to the classroom, Miss Kelli.
Thank you, Lillian. Thank you. So excited to be here. Truly
beautiful
love
teacher.
You. Love your show. Love everything that you stand for. Just so excited to be here with you.
Well, thank you so much. And for those of you who are tuning in, make sure that if you have a question about anything that we discussed today, whether you're on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, or maybe later on you're watching on BitChute or podcast, podcast is just off the chain. You can always reach out to us. Doesn't matter if you just tell us which episode you saw and just ask the question. Or right now, if you're watching live, type in a Q and write your question down. But if you want to call me and text me your question, it's 407-373-5959. So Kelli, now, when I first learned about your story, I was very moved, very touched, but we don't discuss it every time you come on, and you've been coming on now pretty regularly. It used to be just Rebecca. Now it's your turn to shine. This is your turn to share your story of, difficult times. And I know that in your short life, you have seen some difficult times that are very, very scary, but you've been able to overcome. So let's talk about what's happened to you that turned your mess into your message, your poison into your passion, and brought you to Keep Me Safe Organics.
Okay, perfect. So for many of you that don't know, I am a mom of 4 amazing children. They are wild. They are crazy. They are fun. They jump from the rooftops. They are all their own individual children. But I've also had 3 stillborn births, miscarriages in the second trimester. So that's kind of unusual. People usually don't have miscarriages in their second trimester. Usually it's pretty early. So the whole world knows I'm pregnant, and then all of a sudden it's like, just doesn't happen, or they, have to kind of see it like played out live because I'm just big. I'm just big. So it's like, everyone's like, oh, the baby, the baby's due. And then it's like, no, we like the baby should be here right about now. And then it's like, something will happen. And so for me, I've had that kind of struggle. But I do have 4 beautiful babies. So it's definitely not the end of the story. And then also, for many of you who don't know, my dad passed away of cancer in May 2nd, 2010. And I would say that was the ultimate devastation. I think he passed away, and then I had my first miscarriage about a year. Within a year, I had my first miscarriage, and I was pretty big, so it was kind of like going to the hospital, and, you're supposed to be close to your due date. And then it's like, what's happening? What is this? So, but for my father, what was so hard, I think this was kind of the heartbreak. I want to say that kind of the heartbreak of my life is, it's like the parent structure, your dad, it's like, he's my daddy and my protector. And so we found out, one day he went to the hospital, he was bleeding from his eye. And I remember him not wanting to sit in the waiting room. He was just like, I'm fine, get me out of here. And it's like, no, there's blood coming from your eye. You are not fine. And he was a strong man. He was strong-willed. And he's like, hospitals are where you go to die, like, let's get out of here, and I just remember, all of a sudden they took some blood work. And then it was like, get to Moffitt Cancer Center. Something's really wrong. And then I remember at Moffitt, them telling us that, from anywhere from about 3 months to live, and sure enough, right on that 3-month mark, he died. And when he died, he was cancer free. He just died from all the chemo. So when you think about it, here, he died cancer free. Like we achieved the ultimate mission, but he still passed away because of chemo. So I just want to say that I do know pain. I do know suffering. I do know what it's like to, to lose, the person that's like, very like, my mom and I are best friends, but my daddy and I were close too. Like he was my protector, and he would just, he was always up. I don't want to say for a good fight, but he was always up for a good cause. And it was like, he just like was just so great at advice. And his advice was, always kind of like to plow ahead, do what's right. If there was an injustice, it was like, go get it, baby girl, go get it. Like, I don't know, just a big believer of dreams, but yet very low key and monotone. And he was great to support me in them, but he was definitely not going to go fight the cause for me. Does that make sense? Like, give me the tools and let me go fight, but he was not going to be standing on the sides picketing with me. He'd go help get the poster board. And
Here, let me help you. Let me help you.
Yes, I'll go get the resources for you, and I will help you stand. Like I'll drop, and then he would drive by and give me lemonade or whatever I needed for the cause, and he'd always be like in the parking lot watching and making sure I was okay. But it was like he was the supporter, and so when he died, seeing how strong he was and thinking that he could overcome anything because he was just a fighter. He was just always a fighter, and he was always up for a good fight, and he was strong. Just really kind of blew my mind of like, oh my gosh, and it really set me on this question. The question that I always asked was, why do some people get sick and why do others not? Why do some people get cancer and die? Why is it some people can smoke their entire lives and like nothing happened? Like this is just insane, right? Why can somebody drink till they're 90 and their body not shut down, but others do? And they have, a seemingly not so healthy lifestyle, but I mean, he was, he didn't have any major addictions. He didn't have any like horrible bad habits besides food. He didn't eat the best food. And at the time, I remember nobody told us about organic. Nobody told us, so I remember making my dad green shakes, but it was just with regular fruits and vegetables. And we put them through like a juicer or a blender. And I was really on a health kick back then, but I didn't know. So here I'm like juicing up pesticides. I didn't know it at the time, and being like, here, dad. And he loved it. I mean, he just, every time I got into health or brought it to the family or would get into the juicing, oh my God, he just would light up. Like, it was kind of like, thank you. Like, he knew the value of good food, even though he wasn't living it, but he just got excited every time I would bring over the juicer or go to the grocery store and start juicing for him. I just think that was like his, like, I don't know, his love language, but he just got all excited and he would just be so, giddy. And when I'd make him drink the juice, and of course the juice was probably horrible, but he would
No. I think that, to be fair, I've heard many people say that juicing with conventional products is better than juicing not at all.
Without, I love it. Thank you.
Optimal would be organic, but still you get the benefits outweigh the pesticides. So if that's any consolation to you.
Yeah. Thank you. No, I probably needed to hear that, but no, he just would love it. And so that was kind of like our bonding, thing. And I wouldn't do it like all the time, but I would just always like, come in and get on a health kick and be like, let's do this. And he would just giggle and light up. And it was like, I was like, I don't know, we just were like so connected like that. And he really loved it. But then of course, that wasn't like a staple, and nobody had ever really told us, it's a way of life. We just always thought, it's a seasonal thing, it's like a 10-day fun fix. It was never like, this is like, what you need to do. So I just remember once he passed away, going on this deep search about why do some get sick? Why do others not? Why do some have disease, others not? And it was like really like this question that was just eating at me. It was like, why are some people here and others aren't? And it took like years, maybe like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years before that question got answered. And I was around this like nutritional guru. Like, it was like his whole life was about curing cancer, fighting disease. I mean, it was like I want to say like a Joan of Arc, but a man. He was like the William Wallace of food. And I remember one day I was just, I was a top leader in my company, so I had access to him. And I just said, why is it that some people get sick and others don't? And he's like, Kelli, the answer is so simple. And I'm like, it's not simple. Like, this is my daddy dying. It's so not simple. Like, this is not a simple thing. This is like my entire life, like gone like this. Like, what do you mean it's simple? And it kind of made me angry. Like, I just remember like wanting to fight with him. Like, it's not simple. Like, my dad dying was not simple. And it wasn't that he took it like it wasn't like lighthearted. He just said, it's just a simple answer. And I was like, okay, what is that answer? And I was like, oh, ready to write it down. And it was so simple. It was like, crazy. And he said, Kelli, more toxins or chemicals come into the body than the body can safely eliminate. Disease will shortly follow. Mm-hmm. And it was like A plus B equals C, or 1 + 2 = 3. I mean, it was like more chemicals come in than the body can safely eliminate. Disease will shortly follow. And he goes, and here's the missing factor for all of us. We don't know how many chemicals each person can eliminate through your sweat, through your urine, through your going poop. It's like, we don't know.
The three P's. Perspiration,
pee and poop.
Pee and poop.
Yeah. So that for me was the big, oh my gosh, I finally got it. And that's the missing question is we don't know. For each of us, it's different. Like Lillian may be able to, get rid of 10,000 chemicals a day. So she could use a lot more bleach and eat a lot more toxic foods, to where somebody else has, 500 a day. And
but eventually that'll slow down too.
Yes.
So when we're younger, we can handle a little bit more, but now kids today are not being raised with the nutrients that we were raised. Well, I was raised in, maybe you were raised in, because you're much younger than me. But you can, your body can change drastically and dramatically. The more you abuse your body, the quicker it's going to reach its boiling point.
And that's what he said. He said, he said almost like a tipping point will happen, and then all of a sudden you go from healthy to unhealthy super fast. It's like all of a sudden one day, and I used to really, when I was I would say all through high school, my body worked like good. And then all of a sudden it was like maybe right after college, or I don't know. Every time I would eat something, I would just get like really red, inflamed, and like pie face. Like it would just get, and inflamed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even and I remember thinking, I can't even take a bite of pineapple. Like it was just like, I couldn't even take a bite of something. I was just inflamed. And, I didn't know, it was 10 years, 15 years later that I would find the answer, but I had hit my tipping point. Like more toxins had come in than I could safely eliminate. And now everything caused inflammation. Everything caused me to be red and pie faced, and just really like feeling to the point. And Lillian, I don't think I've ever told you this, but to the point where I went to the doctor and I started talking to a doctor, and he's like, I think you have a brain tumor.
Oh my.
I think you have a brain tumor. So I was really thinking like, oh my gosh, this is like, and the doctors give you the worst case scenario. And so here had to go get an MRI. I mean, I had to do all this stuff and thinking, oh my gosh, I've got a brain tumor. Like I've got a brain tumor. Only to eventually, the MRI came back and he's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. There's something, obviously there's something wrong, but there's nothing showing up. So I wound up going to a natural doctor, and I remember her like giving me parasite cleanse because I had done missions to China. I traveled, in college. And so I had done some things. So I remember her, and then us going through an allergy testing, and her just like really starting to help get my body back like to ground zero. And so that was I didn't know that was going to come up, but that was really powerful. So maybe if you're out there, I think part of me maybe shared that story that maybe you're looking for answers, and maybe the medical field is letting you down horrifically. Maybe all of a sudden you feel like they're just not finding the answer, and that you're not crazy. I want to say you're not crazy. But there are so many amazing natural doctors. And I just went to my local natural doctor. She was a acupuncturist, and she was also just natural medicine. And she got me in the chair, and she started doing this little out, like zzz, zzz on my hand, like little, it did not hurt at all. Yeah. But she just said, okay, you're allergic to this. You're allergic. I mean, everything was like showing.
Oh, testing. Oh my God.
Yeah. She was like, you're showing up allergic to everything. And she was like, it's because the body's not. And she just got me on a regimen, and within 6 months, all of a sudden I could eat again. I could, I'd still get inflamed. I lived with a thing called rosacea, and rosacea just would not go away. No matter how hard we tried, no matter what happened, I wouldn't get so puffy, but I was always inflamed. And so that was just something that I had to like learn to, I would say, live with, you know, and that was really challenging because it was like just red, like constantly red, not red like this from the sun. I've been out to the beach, but just constantly living red and blotchy and red cheeks. And I always would just say it was like I was on fire, you know, it's just like my face was always on fire.
So you got to experience loss of the people you love. Then you got to experience the loss of your health, but then you experience the loss of income, like you're trying to make ends meet. And so, and you've shared this story about how you started working with multi-level marketing and how that started happening. And so that is the perfect storm, the perfect classroom within your bubble that led you to create Keep Me Safe Organics with Rebecca. And so with that in mind, let's talk about what you've learned that you've transferred on to Keep Me Safe Organics during these difficult times, because you guys are debt-free too.
We are completely 100% debt-free. And listen, that's been a challenge. That's like not an easy thing. Most businesses can never say they're debt-free. Like, we don't have the money in the bank. We don't do it. We can't get it. We don't, you know, there's everybody, we have new products that come out all the time. And so everyone's like, we want this, we want this, we want this. And it's like, we know that each time we bring on a new product, there's at least $15,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 investment. So while we do have over 100 products, we have everything. There's a few things we don't have yet, and we will get there. But it's like, yes, that's the mission, is we don't want to accrue an ounce of debt to do it, because we never want to be in a situation where we're uncertain or we're having to now, you know, pay bills or get crazy or figure out how, you know, things are going to work. So I love that. So Rebecca and I definitely are very much together on the being debt free. That's so powerful. Yeah. And it's powerful too, I would say, for even your household, because I think, you know, what they say, the average family is $300 to $400 a month away from bankruptcy. Yeah. And when you think about it like that, that's a lot of fear. That's a lot of stress. That's a lot of anxiety. That's a lot of worry. And what I do know is, like, when my husband and I first got together, he only made $1,800 a month. And my daddy, being the good dad and the protector, was like, you're off my tab, you know, like, you guys figure it out, you know? And I just remember it literally felt like I went from like security, like having support, to like poverty almost overnight. And I know that my dad was very, very, very much, and told my mother, do not help her. She has got to figure it out. So that was like, think about it. Like, here, my family is, you know, supported. They've been helped. My dad had financial resources. I mean, I grew up I didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up in poverty either. So I just knew that there was always food in the pantry. There was always room enough to go buy my billboards. If I needed shoes, there, you know, I always had shoes on my feet. So the basic needs were not, I was not worried about basic needs. When I started to marry my husband, and all of a sudden he was like, here's my debit card, but there was just nothing on it. He's so sweet as ever. He's like, here's the debit card. And it was like, oh my God, there's nothing here. Like, I don't know what we do with this. But I just remember feeling like this, you know, incensed, like, and it wasn't, the reality of it didn't strike me at the very beginning, but as I started to get, you know, I was pregnant, and as we started to build a family, it was really hitting me like, oh my gosh, I don't even have money for diapers and wipes. And once Hunter came along, he was sick. He had an autoimmune disorder. And so we were really like, I mean, and like I said, my dad, we could always count on him for a meal. Like, we could always go over there to eat. We could always go to his parents to eat. But there was no helping. There was no handing, you know, a $100 bill. Like my dad was very, very, very clear with my mom. I didn't know that at the time, but he had told my mom, we are not to help her. She's got to figure this out. And so I just remember here, you know, I was going to school to be, I had my degree in spiritual counseling, and I had a degree in family and marriage counseling. So here I was working on my 10,000 hours to go be a counselor. And I had this child that was sick, and we were living at the local children's hospital. And I remember them telling me he's probably not going to make it. It looks like some form of leukemia. And I remember having a client that I had to go back into the Bay Tree area to, like, you know, to help. And I just remember driving back, and I met with this woman, and it was just all about a shopping addiction. And I just like was sitting there, and I was like, almost like just crying. And she's like, what's wrong? And I'm thinking, like, I left a child that I don't know the future of just to come here and hear like, and what to me felt like rich people problems, you know, it's like rich people problems. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm losing a kid. We can't even eat. I don't even know where my next meal is coming from. Like even the gas ticket over here was a challenge. And you're telling me you have a shopping addiction. Oh my gosh, I can tell you where to write the check. You know, like I can tell you where to write the check right now. So I left there and I just was like, I don't think I can go back. Like going back to the hospital, I just was like, I don't think I can go back to counseling. I need to be in the counseling seat. I need to be getting the counseling. And all of a sudden things just in my life started to shift. And it was like, I had to figure out plan B. I had to figure out a plan B. And I don't know if many of you might be in that same position right now. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got to figure out a plan B.
But life is about plan B. If you think about it, life is about plan B, C, D, E, F, all the way to Z. And that's where that's when you're doing the most growing. Your father had a great plan. Great plan.
It truly is. And then that's where I found the network marketing. And I quickly realized, and it was really just making that, you know, Lillian, for me, it was making that first $123 that it might as well have been $1,000 at the time. It felt like $1,000. I remember, you know, earning instant income. I remember going to Walmart that night and my husband woke up the next morning because he leaves for work at like 5 a.m. at 4:30, I think at that time. He came out and there were like 2 pairs of Wrangler jeans because that's what he wore, like $20 Wrangler jeans at the time. They were $19.99 at the time. But I remember telling him every time he would get up, he'd be like, my jeans are ripping. I'm like, duct tape it, right? So because we didn't have it in the account. So I remember him, like all of his jeans just had duct tape everywhere. I mean, it was like almost like just like one thing of duct tape. So there are 2 pair of jeans. I had these diapers. I had these wipes. I mean, the table, it looked like Christmas morning. And he walked out and he's like, what is that? Like, what happened? Like, you know, we had been almost like suffering for, I want to say like a year and a half, maybe even longer. And he is like, what is this? And I said, that party that I did, I made $123. And he was like, did you book any more parties? And I'm like, no, I didn't even ask anybody to book a party. He's like, okay. So I'm going to go to work. You have to have like 2 or 3 parties when I get home. Like you have to get a party. Like this can't be the only time this happens, you know? And I remember it was kind of like his belief, but I think we were in such a desperate place that he was like, oh my gosh, finally, like relief, like finally, like help, you know, like finally, because, you know, even at making $600 a week for a family of 3 and $100 copay at the hospital, we were not making, I mean, we just weren't making it, you know, it was like, we just couldn't even, I mean, our cabinets were bare. And so I just remember, you know, I think him saying, okay, this is what you're going to do. And that really helped me because I was kind of lost too. I was like, I'm doing this new thing. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm filled with fear. I don't know how to talk to people. Our world, because of a sick child, has gotten so small. I only talked to like 4 people, my mom, my dad, his parents, and I think his sister-in-law and my sister. I mean, my world was so tiny because we had hand sanitizers on every wall and I just kept pushing the world out. So I was like, I don't know where I'm going to go from this. And he's like, Kelli, you better get on the phone, make some friends and book some more parties or else this was a one-hit wonder. Mm-hmm. And so I just know that I was so scared all day. I was so scared, Lillian. I mean, it was like he was almost asking me to climb Mount Everest. I was not used to reaching out to somebody. I was not used to asking, you know, like, do they want to have a party or whatever. So I started with the girls that were there that night. And I called and I was like, and it took me all day. I mean, it literally, I must have mustered up like 4 or 5 hours of just stress, just trying to pick up the 1,000-pound phone, you know, that was like, and I just remember calling, you know, there's like 6 or 7 girls at that party. And I just called them and I said, I had so much fun with you. And I'm sure I fumbled horribly, but I said, would you want to get your friends together and let's do this thing again? And to my surprise, you know, and I knew he was going to walk in at like almost 4 o'clock. So I knew at like 3 o'clock, I got to get this thing done. Like he
challenge accepted, right?
Challenge. Well, I don't know. Challenge accepted. I think I was just more fearful of him. The first thing he said to me when I came in, and I think I booked 2, maybe 3 parties. I called, you know, everybody and just said, you know, would you be willing, you know, to have a party and let's really get these products out. Oh, I don't know what I said. I'm sure I fumbled through it because I was fumbling through everything.
Doesn't matter. You got it done.
So anyway, he comes in and he goes, did you book something, you know? And I was like, yes, I think I at least had 2. So I was like, yes, I booked 2. And he was like, oh, thank goodness, you know? And then Lillian, there was another day that happened that was so powerful because at the time I was used to making the cash. Like I was making, the 25%, I was making the cash. So all of a sudden I was making it. So I was very scared to bring anybody into the business because I didn't want it to take away from me. Right. Like, and maybe some of you can feel that, like, you're like, I don't want to go out and recruit. I need the income for myself. I needed my $100. Like it was like my life depended on it. So I remember there was this girl that I brought on, and this was, 10, 12 years ago. And so all of a sudden she went out and I think we were at the time, I can't remember. I think we were walking into a movie and we had started to have some extra income. I mean, it was like $1,000 extra a month, might as well have been 100,000 extra a month. It was like freedom. We could now go on a date. We could now have a babysitter. We could do what we were not able to do. And I'll remember, and at the time I didn't even know to help this girl out. I just brought her on. She wanted to be a part of my team. And I remember thinking, like, do I sign her up? She's going to take away from me, like this wrestling going on. And so I signed her up. And all of a sudden I remember, I'll never forget, we are walking into the movie and I get this text and she said, my party is up to $1,700. And all of a sudden I was like, Daddy, we just made $170 walking into the movie theater. He looked at me and said, go get like 100 of those girls, like go get 100. And I thought, oh my gosh, life-changing, because here once again, I overcome the fear of like calling, and then that like had a big reward. I had to like overcome, and then I overcame the fear of like bringing somebody on, because that was like fearful. Like, is she going to take away from my income? Is she going to take away from my family? We're eating now.
Limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs.
Limiting beliefs. But I had them like, and maybe you're out there and you have them too. Like they were plentiful. They were plentiful. I was filled with so much fear. So anyway, I remember walking into the movie, telling him, and he was like, kind of like, let's not go to the movie. Let's go talk to people, and we did go to the movie, but it was so exciting because now I had a different vision and a different mission. And now recruiting was going to be fun versus me trying to like hoard it all for myself. And so I really kind of got to give my husband credit, because at the time he's very like, I don't want to say low energy, but he's very much like he wants me all to himself. He wants my time. He wants this. So for him, like looking back now, for him to say, go get more parties, go recruit more girls, like that was kind of like wisdom beyond him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was
no. He may be whatever, but he knew that he's a business guy. He knows where the He knows.
He wanted the freedom too. And so I really look back and I'm grateful that he could see a bigger picture than what I could. And there were many times, just as in life, there's many times. I remember there were times that I wanted to quit. There were times that, I was coming back from a party that I drove to Orlando. I invested and zero sales. And I felt like, and I remember coming home and just being like, I want to quit. And it was him that was like, stop. Like, Kelli, if you went to a job or you were waitressing, there's going to be days that you walk in and nobody sits in your section. Wake up. Welcome to the real world.
I know
it was so beautiful, because it was like, I know that there's times where, women go home to their husbands and they say, yeah, just quit, just throw it. It's not for you, or it's not meant to be. And I'm really grateful, because in those years, when I was so uncertain about what I was doing, I was so uncertain about myself, I was so uncertain about the future. It was almost like he kind of helped guide me and get me over like my limiting beliefs in the moment. Like in the moment I had all these fears, and he kind of just like challenge accepted,
Challenge accepted. Without even knowing, we accept these challenges. And by the way, I have neglected to tell you guys that Keep Me Safe Organics is offering 3 deodorants. For those of you, that's the new packaging. I've got the old packaging. There you go. And even though this is a deodorant or a armpit bar, you can use it all over your body. I've used it on my feet. And so share a little bit about this. And so, okay, so let me give you, for anybody who texts me at 407-373-5959, you can be a part of this giveaway. I normally wait until Monday. So you have, for people who are listening on podcast afterwards, or BitChute or YouTube or whatever, if you're listening to this or watching this afterwards, you too can participate if you text me or call me 407-373-5959. You can also instant message me at Lillian's radio show on Facebook. And that's the different ways where you can claim this. Your name will go into a winner's basket because everybody who tries is a winner. Everybody who does it, not just try, but do it, is a winner. And I will pick 3 names, and then I will notify you that you are the winner. So this is the old packaging for Keep Me Safe. And
let me just share. This is our zested vanilla. This is amazing. And let me just tell you what's so neat. Rebecca formulated this, and she has just got this like chemistry, beautiful, beautiful brain. And so there is more arrowroot powder in this than our other formulations. So this is amazing. Like if you really feel like,
so what is it about arrowroot that's important?
So arrowroot just naturally kind of like helps with the odor for one, and the wetness. So it really is like just a little bit level more of protection. You know what I mean? Okay. So that way it's a natural ingredient, so it's not going to cause you harm. A lot of times baking soda can mess with the pH of the skin. So a lot of times baking soda, while it's really effective and it works, we don't use baking soda because it throws the pH of the skin off. And so that can cause issues. So we're dealing with all natural products, essential oils, natural oils, shea butters. Let me read. This is organic arrowroot powder, organic shea butter, organic beeswax, organic coconut oil, organic essential oils of Peru balsamic and lime, and organic rosemary antioxidant. This is a complete organic deodorant. That is so exciting when you think about it. And I love it because it just lasts. I mean, this is like, so for me personally, because I sweat a lot. I'm with the kids running around. We're in summer. This has just been so amazing. This is my new favorite. So the other ones have a lot of oils and a little bit less of the arrowroot powder. And so if they've not worked for somebody in the past, this would be an amazing one. And truly with natural deodorants, because it goes right into your lymph, like your whatever deodorant you put can go right into your lymph nodes. So you really want to make sure that you are putting good products in there. You don't want to be blocking your lymph nodes. You don't want to be building, a lot of times the deodorants that have the aluminum, they wind up being like a barge, and nothing can go out, nothing can go in. And all of a sudden you have the clogged ducts, and then all of a sudden it's going into your breast tissue. And then now we have breast cancer running rampant. So a lot of times it's tricky to find an amazing deodorant that you just fall in love with. And so I love our deodorants. I've been able to use them, but sometimes after 2 to 3 months, I have to like switch it up or find a different, like go to the crystal stick, then, use that for a few months and go back to ours. And so I am loving this because the arrowroot just seems to be like a game changer for me. So I am loving it. So if natural deodorants have not worked for you in the past, or they've been kind of tricky, or you kind of feel, this is amazing. This is the first one that has the extra arrowroot powder, and I think you will love it. We love it.
So there's more absorption. And so with Keep Me Safe Organics, everything, because it's organic and there's no toxic chemicals, you can use it in different parts. Like soap is not soap, it's a body bar. Deodorant is not deodorant. It could also help you with calluses on your feet, or it could help with a chafed little bottom for your baby. I mean,
yes.
You guys do this.
Listen, these are great for eczema, psoriasis, things, and I tell it was so funny. My girlfriend just messaged me the other day, and she was like, oh my gosh, I want to try your new deodorant, because the other one, she's like, I could use it for like a few months. And then I just noticed that my pH is changing. Stress hormones right now are changing because people's cortisol are through the roof. And so she's like, I want to try your new deodorant. I'm like, well, listen, just shave off the little top covering, and you can now use it as a balm, as like, it could be in your medicine cabinet. This is amazing. Bug bites, you name it. You could even do this as like a neck, like treatment, wrinkle, like balm, like it's amazing. It definitely gives the skin hydration and moisturizer. So I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. And yes, as Lillian was saying, we know that whatever you put on your skin within 26 seconds gets absorbed into your bloodstream. And so we really, our mission on the planet is that no woman is ever harmed by anything that we created. This is safe for an unborn child. This is safe for your daddy who's going through chemo. This is safe for everyone. And so that is our mission, down to every ingredient, every raw ingredient that is ordered. A lot of our essential oils come from Europe, because Europe, they do not let their fields get sprayed with the pesticides, and their flowers are able to grow wild and free. And it's just, we just search and research it. And so I'm just so excited and so proud of what we're doing and our mission, and the mission to help women be creators of wealth and financial freedom. And so that opportunity is here for you as well. It started with me just making $100, and here we are now. And my dream is to see hundreds of thousands of women make a 6-figure and beyond income, that we can go to 7 figures, 8 figures, and just to really see you have the wealth creation that you so desire, and not like your destiny is not shaped by anybody. Just like my destiny, wasn't shaped by anybody, because it was like, I could go out and I could book more things. I could go, the whole world needs a safe deodorant. So when you think about that and you getting to make 30% of that, that's super exciting. And it's just so much fun. So 3 of these will be given away. This is our new formulation. I am so in love with this formulation and the scent. Zested vanilla. It's got this like lime vanilla scent.
I love that lime. You guys, you just keep adding this lime. I love lime. So 3 of you will win the deodorant, but keep in mind that you can, figure out different ways. Maybe we'll do a contest. How many different ways can you use this bar? Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, just make sure you either instant message me at Lillian's radio shows. Tell me that you want the body bar. Actually, you could just write it below that I want it. So put it in the comment section below, because if you don't say something, I don't know that you're there. So thank you, Kay, for sharing your story. I'm sorry about your husband who passed away from chemo as well. And so, if for those of you who want to try something different and new, and another thing that Kelli didn't mention that she mentioned so many things, but most people don't even know this, that the essential oils in many of the products are heated to the point where it changes the molecular structure. And they've made a commitment to so they extract it through a steam process, and it doesn't change the molecular. So I wanted to add to that, Kelli, because I always find that like a changer, a game changer with Keep Me Safe Organics, is that your commitment is so strong to keeping it non-synthetic and keeping the actual molecular structure, so that when it absorbs into the skin, you guys are keeping people safe. So I really love that about. So with that in mind, make sure you claim it. Just claim your deodorant bar. And then everybody, I will go ahead and put your name on there on the winner's circle, the winner's basket. And 3 on Monday, I will take out, let me write it down. On Monday, I will pull out 3 names and I will call you. Sometimes I might call you a week later or 2 weeks later, but I will call you and tell you that you won. Okay, so that I want to share the importance of learning from each other and learning from how to be triumphant. We heard Kelli's story, and there are many stories like Kelli's that lead us to. And so I want to also bring people here to whenyouneedafriend.com, so that we can all share our stories of triumph, of sharing our story from poverty to making 6 figures. And only that can be done when you take ownership and responsibility for your life. If you wait for people to feed you, you might go hungry. But if you learn how to provide for yourself, you will always eat. And so go to whenyouneedafriend.com, be a part of this movement of responsibility and ownership for your life. And while you're at whenyouneedafriend.com, please subscribe. And while there, click on all the social media buttons and like and follow. It's that easy. You don't have to go searching for me because it's right there and you can click. And then when you go to YouTube or BitChute, make sure you subscribe, especially BitChute, because we're being censored and we don't know how long we'll be able to do this. And we're very grateful to YouTube and Facebook for allowing us to do this. And so, but we need to come up with Plan Z. And so BitChute, so please subscribe if you haven't done so. Now, I ask that while you're in on the page that you check out my sponsors, because without my sponsors, there would be no classroom. And sponsors like Nori Nutraceuticals. Nori Nutraceuticals is Nutritional Oncology Research Institute, where it's working with your body and the deficiencies in your body. And this is a tool that you can use to heal. It's a membership for like a cancer group where they give you everything that you need to thrive. And so we also have, of course, Keep Me Safe Organics, which has made the pledge of avoiding anything that can cause you harm. We have First Alternative Care that takes care of the whole entire family, telemedicine for non-urgent medical, dermatology, unlimited, and 3 hours a year of behavioral health for the entire household for $45 a month. And it's unlimited for if you have any questions. And it's not every time, it's one time a month for your entire household. The pharmacy in Merritt Island, which is taking medications and putting it on compounds, they are just now opening a state-of-the-art license, and it's sterile environment so that you can take your medications and put it on your skin so it doesn't go through your GI tract and cause addiction or cause problems that later on you will discover is not the best for you. And then Live Longer Medical, making you as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. And also you can go to my little Shop Now bag, and for ground therapy, which I know Kelli is a ground therapy and brain tap fanatic, and she absolutely loves these products as well. And I just added my Avasia and other products in the Shopping Now cart. So if you want to learn anything about those and how to take your health back naturally, I am 100% there for you. So please check out my sponsors and figure out how you can support them the way that they're supporting the classroom. And last but not least, you are taking advantage of all this information. If you want to be a student of the classroom, an enrolled student of the classroom, and you can donate $1, $1,000 a month, whatever you can afford. We have little packages that you could just click on and help make sure that this information continues to go out there. So I want to thank you in advance, and let's help each other, spirit, mind, and body. So today we have Kelli Bono. We miss you, Rebecca, wherever you're at in California.
She's in Alaska. We do miss
her.
She's
in Alaska. I thought she was in California when she said that. Well, so she's in Alaska in her adventure. She deserves an adventure. We all deserve an adventure. Yeah. But, today we are talking about being triumphant. And I was listening to your stories, and I wanted to extrapolate. I am all about the acronym. I'm all about the lessons learned. And we didn't go a lot into the detail about how you worked for other companies that were MLMs. And once you got to the top, they would drop you. And or they would make it impossible for you to continue. So you also have made a commitment for people that you're going to be their cheerleader, and sky is the limit for them. And so with that in mind, let's talk about the 3 different ways if somebody wanted to create wealth for themselves through Keep Me Safe Organics. Let's start with the penny.
Perfect. So we have a penny membership where you can come in for 1 cent, make 30% of everything you sell, come in for 1 penny. You get 2 months free website, and then you get a website charge of $8.95 a month to have your own online shopping center linked to you, direct to you, your own website. Lillian knows you cannot create any kind of website for $8.95, especially one that takes credit cards. And then we have a better, that's the good. We have a better package at $99 It has a lot of our body care products. It has probably over $300 worth of body care and our skincare products. And then that is a $8.95 charge a month. And then we have the best. If you just want the whole shebang, you want makeup, skincare, you want everything. We have our best product, which is the $229. It comes with a year of all your website. So there's no $8.95 charge. You get a whole website for a year. And so that's $229 and it's amazing. So over $600 value. It's like amazing. And what's great is you can come in with any of those packages and you could start to sell immediately from day one. And so we have skincare challenges going on where we're seeing people literally take 20 years off their skin by using natural products. And this is what's so beautiful. When you give the body what the body needs, the body heals itself.
Naturally.
And so people don't realize it. People are like, oh my gosh, how is it that I am putting these natural products on? I've stopped the assault. They've stopped all the chemicals coming in, because no matter what, this was a game changer for me. No matter what a product label promises you, it can promise you that it's anti-aging. It can promise you that it's this. If it's got known carcinogens that are going to cause you cancer, that are going to cause your hormones to be out of whack, no amount of anti-aging in the world is going to be anti-aging when it's causing you cancer. And I think a lot of times people don't realize it's going to age you at the fastest pace. And so people don't realize when they get off those chemicals, all of a sudden the glow in their skin comes back. Their eyes start to brighten again. It's like the skin, the body just is not having to work every single moment to get rid of all these nasty chemicals in the body. Literally, they say the average woman has over 5 pounds of beauty product chemicals that her livers and kidneys have to like decipher just to get rid of, because it's just like in overdrive. So can you imagine when you stop the assault and then all of a sudden all that stuff can just get out of the body starts to heal almost immediately. So it's like, don't, the pendulum can stop and be in your favor. And so we're seeing women's before and after where they are literally looking 10, 20 years younger. It's almost like you've tapped in the fountain of youth. And it's like, what's in your products? I'm like, we are just working from nature, God, and goodness. It's like, we're just like doing some amazing things. So those are the 3 ways to join us. And so we just hope that if you've been praying for something, if you're just asking God for a miracle, that you are the miracle. You are the miracle, and for you to jump on board and be a wealth creator with us and help go out and change people's lives. This is the day, this is the time. I think never before in history have we been shooken so much and kind of like wake up, depending on somebody else for your wealth. Those days are over. It's like, this is the time, this is the moment to step into, to create it. And you are the solution and you are the answer. I think as Lillian says, I am, what is it? I am 99.
I am 99.
I am 99.
The solution. I am the solution. I am 99. Those are so important. And it just dawned on me, all these anti-aging products that have chemicals in it, they can promise anti-aging because you die before you age. It's like you don't get to that place. And I know that sounds horrible and it shouldn't be funny, but it kind of is like, we get so seduced by the label of the headline that we don't read the article. And so those are things that we need. And where for 1 penny can you say, oh, I love this deodorant, go get it and get 30% off of that. Well, I love this lip balm. What lip balm do you have? Oh, you can go to my own website because they provide that for you. And now you get 30% of everything you refer to. When you refer to Walmart or Kmart or Ulta or anything, Avon, you don't get anything for it. But that 1 penny, brilliant, Miss Kelli.
Yes,
I don't know.
I love it.
But it's brilliant. Now, we are almost at the end of the broadcast or the podcast, the broad class. And I want to encourage you to hang on because I want to take the word triumph, just like I took solution and I've taken shift and we've done like little extrapolations of, okay, learning lessons. We're going to do that instead of a makeover or a tutorial that, how to put on your eyeliner or whatever. We're going to do the acronym for triumph with what I learned from as you were speaking, taking some things out so that we could all put it together, Miss Kelli. And so for those of you who would like to try something that keeps you safe, that makes a commitment to keep you safe, 3 of these little beauties are going to be given out. And the scent is
zested vanilla.
Zested vanilla.
Just like that. Look at that.
It smells so good. It smells so good. Okay, so 3 of them will be picked. So if claim it, you could claim it below in the comment section. If you're if you are on Facebook and or YouTube and you need to claim it, you need to claim it after it kind of airs, because if you claim it in the chat area, it doesn't translate to where I can see it. So I have to be able to see it. But anyway, 3 people will be selected. And so claim it, either text it or IM me or claim it below. I'm really excited about everything that you guys are doing. Last minute, we got 1 minute before the podcast is done.
Lillian, tell them how, because listen, even if you don't win the deodorant, every woman on the planet and man needs to be on great deodorant. This is one of the biggest things that comes straight into like your open pores, into your lip notes. And so Lillian, tell them how they can get this deodorant. Sorry, tell them how they can get this.
If you want to buy it yourself, you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com. You can go to my sponsors page or my shop now bag, and you can go in there and get 10% off if you enter Lily10. Thanks for that reminder, Miss Kelli. So enter Lily10. So when you become a subscriber and when you're a part of this classroom, you get lots of gifts, lots of discounts. So let's continue to figure out ways that we can work together to promote health. And for those of you who are listening on podcasts right now, we're going to continue our conversation. You're always welcome to listen and tune in later on, so you can also catch the teacher's pet section of the class. Please remember, we'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott and Kelli Bono wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Yay. Good job.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
So I took the word triumph, because that was the how to triumph over difficult times. And we're certainly in difficult times right now. Many people don't have a job, which this is an opportunity for people to create their own wealth. And this is, and you could be part of my team. So I am excited. We've gotten some new team members, and we need to kind of rally up so that we can start creating that wealth as well. And so the word triumph, as you were speaking and I was listening to your story, I thought, okay, there's a TRIUMPH. And so I thought, okay, so T, trust the process. Life is a process, and we are going to have difficult times, but we know that all things work out for the good of everyone. That means if it's going to work out, even if I'm having a difficult time right now, it's going to work out for all of us. So we need to trust that process, that at the end, we will figure it out. Look at Kelli, that, being taken care of, to losing her loved ones, to having to create her own wealth on her own with a lot of help of all the women, the family, the Keep Me Safe Organics family that now we have, that we are working, and not just for Keep Me Safe Organics, but also Lily Rose. Lily Rose is something that is for retailers who want to bring this kind of product to their stores. And so so trust the process, because there is a purpose for it all. And then the R is reconnect with self and others. And I remember in your story, Kelli, you said, I only had 4 people. I only had 4 people. And when you started connecting with yourself and connecting with others, look at how much more you were able to do than just by your own. And then there's an I. So there is an I, which is instruction. Okay, you had your husband who said, what? Not which one? You need to do this, girl. You need to go out there. And so you learned what to do. It was hard for you to do what you needed to do, but it was like, OMG, I need to overcome my limiting beliefs. How do I do that? I just pick up the 1,000-pound phone and I am able to do that. So learn what you need to learn in order to achieve what you want to achieve. And then there's the U for triumph, the uniqueness, your uniqueness. Sometimes you want to be somebody else, but there's only one you. And I was talking to this new guy. I've been following this guy. His name is Pimpy, and I've been had a conversation about it. And what I love about him is that he is himself, and he's you. And so he was saying, yeah, you got to be you, because no one can be you. And if you try to be somebody else, who's being you?
Yeah.
So it's very important that you capitalize in your uniqueness, your cute, the quirkiness, whatever it is that, and not only yourself, but see it in others. So that's the U. And then the M, make it meaningful. It has to have purpose. And so if it's just about making money, it's not meaningful, because how many sailboats or how many power boats can you ski behind? It gets to a point where, just money, money without health is not life. So we need to figure out, what is your why? Why is it meaningful to you to bring these kind of products or live this kind of life? That is what I'm talking about with the M. Then P, persevere, be persistent, not the pee, poop, and and perspiration. That P is for something else. I'm talking about the P of persistent, being persistent. Kelli didn't just stop and say, oh man, this is difficult, I can't pick up that phone. She was persistent with everything that she is about. And now she's encouraging us to be persistent under the Keep Me Safe logo. And they give us the tools to be so. And then finally, H, help. Sometimes you need a little help. You need your tribe to put you together. That's why I loved when we came together as a family, the family reunion with Keep Me Safe Organics that we just went through. It was all about helping each other, giving ideas to one another so that we could persevere, so that we could find being meaningful or mindfulness in what we're trying to do. Bring out our uniqueness, create that instruction, reconnect with each other, and then trust the process. And so that H could be leading us to the happiness, to health. So there's a lot of H's that I got out of what you were saying. So I just want to say that being triumphant is not about complaining about our uncertainty in life, but to actually create what we want. So anyway, with that being said, I just wanted to share what I got out of what you were saying.
Lillian, it's so brilliant. Listen, oh my gosh, girl, you are amazing to just be able to hear a story, start like picking out things and start writing. What gifting you have. So just so awesome. You're just amazing. And just to be able to pick all that up just from a story. So I love it. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. And I just hope that, the story doesn't become the mission, that the end result becomes the mission. There's a couple of things I want to add for those of you who are going to watch this later on and maybe not catch it on the replay or whatever. There are a couple of things that I want to encourage you. If you want to be the change, if you want to be the solution, and you don't like the way the world is, regardless of where you're at in your life, what affiliation of, what your gender, what your nationality, your race, your affiliation with politics, or anything like that, let's unite. Let's become one. Let's reclaim the 99% of the 1% of the 1% is creating division in the 99%. And that's how they can control us, through fear and manipulation. And so I want to encourage you to go to I Am 99 and on Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern time. So I hope all of you will join us on that one at 11 o'clock Eastern time. we are going to have a meeting. So if you want to be a part of that, you need to send me your email address so that we can Zoom you in. And what we're going to discuss is how are we going to unite so that we can say, not here, not now. We don't want toxins in our body. We don't want politicians to be dirty. We don't want police officers to be dirty either. We want to focus on what we want. So how can we create that? So that's number one. The second one is, Kelly and I, you and I talked about this, is that these could potentially be the end of times. And, if you read some of the end of times, when you look at some of the things that they declare, it sounds very similar, like your children will turn against you, your friend, your mother against brother, and all that, all those things. And I'm seeing that right now with the violence and the name calling and shaming that there's out there. So the last time Dr. Lorraine Day, who is amazing, amazing. If you don't know who she is, check out the conversation that we had last Tuesday. Dr. Lorraine Day, as we were doing the class, I thought, I would like to study the book of Revelations, but I wasn't going to put her on the spot. And then what happened was somebody else said, can you guys do a Bible study? And when somebody else asked, it's already out there. I said, oh, here's a question, Dr. Day, that I was going to ask you after the classroom. Would you be willing to do a Bible study? And she said, yes, she would do it. So we're going to do a series with Dr. Lorraine Day, and it's New Truths, because this is from the original Bible, from the original translation, the original written word, and that she has studied for many, many years, and how she healed herself was God's way. It was God's way, not the doctor's way, not the conventional way, but God's way. And she came up with 10, she was led to 10 different things that lead to health. And so that she extrapolated it from the Bible. And so we're going to start on August 17th. We're going to start learning with Dr. Day God's word and what God says about the end of times through the book of Revelation. So if you want to join us, we have an early registration on August 3rd. And I think we're going to have it for 1 week is what I heard. We're going to have it for 1 week, and it's $47 to register early. And then after that, it's $60 to register for a 12-week course. And so I'm really excited to have this time with Dr. Day. So I want to encourage all of you that if you want to be a part of it, mark your calendars, because it's going to be a Monday at 7 p.m. for 12 weeks starting on August 17th. So I hope you will join us. Tell all your friends, because if we're going to get out of this situation that we find ourselves now, we need to find out what God is telling us to do. So with that in mind, Kelly, any final words that you'd like to say? Or?
No, I was just going to say that, in today's time, we do have choices, and you get to choose where you put your focus. And so like this morning, my mom came and got all the kids. It was so beautiful. And I jumped in the shower, and then I thought, okay, do I want to dry my hair, or do I want to read the word? Because I know at 10 o'clock, all these hoodlums are going to be coming back. These beautiful, wonderful. And honestly, I made a choice to go sit out in my swing and read the word of God, because at the end of the day, it's like, this is the soul food. And I think we're in a time where people are so hungry and so desert land, and we have got to be filled up. And I want to know what God says about me, not what the world says about me, not what, my children even say about me, not even what my husband says about me. What does God say about me? And so I just encourage you. I had, a few months ago, God started to speak to me about go and getting the Bible and starting to read. And let me tell you, I was embarrassed because I had to call my mom, and I said, Mom, where did all my Bibles go? I had like 40 in this house at one time, and somehow they've all just disappeared.
And that's by design. That's because we cannot serve two masters, Kelly. Mm-hmm. And the media is causing us to just hear and obey. So we've got to decide to return to the word for guidance.
So what I want to do is just share just a little bit. Every morning I'm getting into this. Yes, I have to make some choices of, what I want to do. So I get into this, and then I would like to put out a challenge in, getting into that Bible study with Lillian and Laura, and really Yes, Dr. Day. And
Dr.
then
Day.
also taking the Lord's Supper every single day. This is something that I've incorporated, and I think now more than ever, but every single day I'm taking the Lord's Supper. So I just take a cracker and say, this is your body broken for me. I want to be into what you are into. I do not want to be following the ways of the world. I do not want to be deceived. I want to be clear. I want to take this in remembrance of you. I take the bread. I've got Rebecca doing it. We're starting kind of this movement. Then I'm taking olive oil. It's just oil, but I'm doing, this is the blood of Christ. I really want to be pure and clean. And I don't want like my mind to be worshiping other things. Like I want to be pure and right for the day that you're coming back. I want, and I ask forgiveness for anything that I've done for the day. If I've hurt somebody's feelings, if I'm not in alignment, show me the right way. And so I'm partaking every day. This is for 3 months now. Every single day I've been taking the bread and the blood. And it's, like I said, it's just a cracker. It's a Ritz cracker or whatever the kids have. And then it's olive oil or some kind of oil that's healthy for the body. But I'm just taking it, and I'm taking the Lord's Supper every day because I want to know that whatever's going on out there, right? And let me just tell you, the last 3 months for me personally have been the most beautiful 3 months. I would not trade them for anything. I'm loving my life. I'm loving my children. My husband and I are closer than ever. We're like on this like fun mission together. We're seeing like beautiful things happen. And so I just want to say, at the end of the day, we have a choice of where we focus. Mm-hmm. And I saw really quick after a few days of watching the news that my anxiety, everything was like, it might as well felt like the end of the world in my life. And I just don't want to be on that path, feeling like I'm being led wherever they want me to go. I want to be in control. So I just encourage you, if that spoke to you and you want to join, just every day, it's kind of like God says, pick up your cross daily, take your daily bread. So I'm just doing that daily, just so that way I'm crystal clear in what's going on with me and my family. And I encourage you to just, take up your daily cross and your daily bread and get into the word. And just, I invite you, maybe there's something that's been blocking you. I invite you to come and it says, come and see and taste that the Lord is good. Come and see and taste that the Lord is good. And I think, especially in these times, it's like, I've gotten away from my first love. I've had kids and miscarriages and everything's going away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've gotten away. I would be in church on Sunday, but I was not taking up my daily. I was not in the word daily. So I just invite you to open up the word and see what God has to say to you. So
well, I love it. I love it. And with that in mind, we are the solution. And if you find yourself fearful, that is that you are being guided into manipulation. That is how you weaken your immune system. There's a lot of debate with mask and unmasking. And I'm saying, let's build our immune system. Let's stay healthy. And that way you can be strong and unite with the 99% and say, we know the truth. We can't be deceived. We are awake, and we're no longer going to turn against our brothers, our sisters. And that to me is heaven. That to me is what the Eden that was promised to us, the promised land. So with that in mind, we'll say goodbye. I loved our conversation today, Kelli. And I just hope that all of you who watch later on, you let us know about trying for the wonderful deodorant, the new brand, because you're going to get the new one, not the old one. You're going to get the new one. And just reach out to me. You can reach out to me at 407-373-5959. We got the IM99. We got the Bible study. And we also have, the giveaway. We got the giveaway. So take advantage of all the options. Choose. Say yes. Say yes to life, not fear. Say yes to love, not fear, because fear is the opposite of love, not hate. Hate is a subset of fear. That's what they do when they make you fearful. They can manipulate you into hating the people you have most things in common with, just to focus on that 1% thing that you might not have in common, and ruin a relationship. Yeah. Ruin a marriage, ruin, a long-term friendship because of that one thing that you might not have in common. Remember, 99% or 90% or 80% is much greater than what we don't have in common. So let's unite. It's time to work together for the common good. Okay, so we'll see you guys.